So for part 2 of this series, we're moving on to Vladimir, our beloved Crimson Reaper, who is totally not a vampire. Long story short, in the new season, I believe Vlad, for some inexplicable reason, has decided someone had, completely, oh my god. Was it the Rise who were completely violated in the 4v1? I don't know, but Vlad seems to be in an incredibly terrible spot at the moment. Main reason for this, right, is the fact that Hextech Revolver no longer fucking builds into anything useful. If you were to ask people in LoL in general, right, what is the one item that Vladimir is normally always seen with? Apart from boots, the answer would probably be Hextech fucking Revolver. And okay, right? In days past, when Hextech Revolver was like 20% spell fab back in season 1, those were joke times, but still. Would somebody please effing explain to me what bloody good either of these are, right? It's like, you build a Hextech because spell fab, because AP, and then does Vlad want a fucking Gunblade? You know, this amazing item that not only is quite expensive, is specifically generally for hybrid people like Akali and to a lesser extent Jax. Does Vlad really want to build this shit? I mean, I know, right, synergy with a Vampiric Scepter due to... No, let's not go there. No! He doesn't fucking want any of this. He's basically paying in the region of, what, 2,000 on just stats he doesn't need. Attack damage and lifesteal. Okay, he doesn't have attack speed to back either of those up. It's just, no, let's not go there. What are the Ancients, the normal staple that Vlad buys? Now has fucking mana regeneration on it. Am I seriously the only person who thinks whoever redesigned this? What was wrong with the original one? Like suddenly, who will this fuck over, you know? It's generally the people who don't require mana, who strangely enough, because they run on a different system, namely health, need Hextech Revolver in order to sustain themselves. I have a brilliant idea. On one of them, we'll give them an AD ratio. On the other, we'll have mana regeneration, because everyone loves mana regeneration. Meanwhile, Riven doesn't actually give a flying fuck, because she just wants to cut your balls off, but that's another matter entirely. Fairy Charm, what? I mean, 20% spell vamp, okay. 50% ability power, but it's not efficient anymore, is it? I mean, I know it's giving you 10% cooldown reduction, which I guess is nice, but at the end of the day, I have no idea whether this is efficient anymore, even if we should even fucking build it. Or whether it's more efficient to just leave this on 12% and then go for other items, like, I don't know. Oh my god, ran fucking over on that. The main thrust of this particular video is literally Vlad and his new items, because what the fuck are you meant to do? I am completely aware, right, what was it? In season 3, oh my god, I can't fucking type. No, there we go. I should have had this done all beforehand. This item was way too efficient, right? Jungle item, but then again, so many top lanes were building jungle items, I guess they did have to change it. And so this is no longer something that I would build. I know I haven't updated the Vlad guide. In part that's because I have no idea what to do with it. It just strikes me as eh. Secondarily, why has the Spiritless Fluctuate got a fucking ruby on there when it never built from that? But that aside, this is now completely worthless. 50 ability power, okay. Health regeneration, okay. Mana regeneration, meh. Same problem with Rota. All the passive effects are completely fucking pointless on Vlad. What was the other thing? So now we look at other things. It's a point of regeneration. And furthering this quote of let's fuck over our favourite vampire, this is getting nerfed. Okay, I understand that perhaps it was a little strong. Health, yes. Magic resistance, yes. 20% CDR, fucking sexy. Health regeneration, incredibly fucking sexy. And a passive that was further bollocks with regeneration. They're changing the fucking CDR to 10% in the future patch, as far as I'm aware. And I'm running around going, why? Why are you ruining every item that Vlad specifically needs and or wants? Wants CDR, wants health, wants spell vamp, wants AP. I mean, part of me suggested, let's just sod the Hex Revolver and go straight for a Spirit Visage. It should be able to sustain him. Then I was kindly told in my absence that apparently they were going to change 10% and I'm ripping out my hair. I know in a way, right, it's like, oh, you lost 10% here, but you gained it on the Wota. Yeah, but you've also crowbarred into fucking Fairy Charms. You could argue that since Wota is still 2k, this is part of the reason why I built it on Swain, because it's still 2k and you gain several things. You just lost the aura item, so I guess it's okay. Right, if I were to at a pinch, I would have said, build Will of Ancients, build Spirit Visage, you would probably still be in the same place you are in the past. Where's the armor? This is the thing with Spectral Wraith. You could just build everything you ever wanted in one item. In top lane, you're probably against armor people, and you're going to get your face smashed in. So you need some sustain, right? To avoid being bursted. So this is why this is better, but I still wouldn't go for it first because you don't have any damage. Axel has decided to make his own guide, which I actually am very much, well, apart from appreciative, because someone's actually picked up the fucking mantle and decided to write a guide that I actually approve of, unlike the Blanc, where no one has even fucking dared to take on the freaking Bible that I made so much time after I have written it. Just please. Suggested Face of the Mountain. Honestly, when I first tried this, right, I could see why he was doing it. I didn't have a problem with him doing it either. Jungle comes along, gains more gold, right? Active is very good. AoE, which Vlad is known for, consumes current health for a maximum health shield, very good. You can use an ally, even better. The other passive was how it gave you immense regeneration. Well, passive. It was the stat. It gave you a huge regeneration thing. It's like plus 25? That's quite absurd. It's also not exactly expensive either. And it gives you CDR. And it basically says, well, doesn't this sort of fulfill the point of, you know, Spectral Wraith, etc.? The answer was yes and no. Because what the problem with Face of the Mountain was, is just when you're in the laning phase, in most cases you're down to your core item, right? Boot is mandatory, normal defensive item, and your first big item. That was taken generally for granted, unless they shoved a tower in or some other bullshit, but in most cases. One big item, two was unlikely. And the problem with Face of the Mountain is that it has 0 AP with it, right? In my previous builds, it was, let's run around, therefore we don't need health, we can just run around, kite, therefore we would have regeneration and we had power. If you build this, you have no power. This is what happened in the lane. I did 0 damage. Sustain through it? Okay. Farm? Okay. Arguably you could say, that's a team fighting champion. Just farm everything, right? And then kill everyone in late game. Then it also falls there because the problem was the old build worked stupendously well because you could farm the fucking jungle at the same time. At such a speed that you just go back to lane, shove it, go to jungle, get filthy rich. This instance, not quite. I know I sound incredibly indecisive, don't actually have any answers yet, but that's because I have no idea whoever the fuck was balancing this thought about what was happening to all the other freaking champions, but it's okay. Meanwhile, Heimer is around just probably being retarded because, I don't know, there are loads of forgotten champions and things like that, so I guess I don't know what the fuck Riot's doing really, but it's okay. What else have I looked at? I have looked at things like patch notes. They've amplified. This gives MR. It gives movement speed. It has also increased the ability power to 50. Why not? Gives you your movement speed. Gives you your MR, which you need. Gives you your ability power. Where's the armor? Where's the regeneration? You could argue, perhaps, that we were way too spoiled in Season 3 with Spirit of Spectral Wraith, because it gave you regeneration, it gave you your power. So, I have no idea, because I am of the opinion that going straight for Wota, given how they've nerfed, okay, I'll go on that later, with the other nerfs, is generally terrible. I do not have a set build yet, nor do I wish to declare one, because I have not solidly tested this, and until I have actually got a really solid build, which I don't even know I'm going to get because, you know, work, I'm not willing to put my neck out, and unlike Swain, and say, this is an alternative, you can do this, it works. What else was I going to go on? Season 4 Masteries. There we go. And how this has affected Vladimir. Come on. Where's this huge thing? Yeah. The core problem with Season 4 was how in Season 3, this movement speed was permanent. 3% always, right? This now gives 1.5, which is not as much. And this final one is for 5% movement when you're not in combat. What fucking use is that for Vladimir? I mean, if you're running, okay, but if you get smacked over the head, you're not going anywhere, son. It's sort of like, was as if the playstyle that I used to do in Season 3 might not actually work anymore, which is quite sad. But this is a problem, how Season 4 has basically been terrible for Vladimir. That's my honest opinion at the moment. His core items got massacred. The mastery trees no longer actually help what my playstyle was, so I might have to change to the other ones. But looking at the rest of this tree, it's like, okay, mana, no, there, no. Full cooldown, fine, that's mana. Spellvamp, yes. Runic Affinity, don't really need. More gold for the Gold God, terrible. Increased art and gold allows you to do it, but that's just normally filler to get the rest of it. Every time you touch it, the same as last year, but this is the biggest problem at the 21, is how you have less movement speed. And that movement speed is often critical in making sure you don't get your face caved in. And I've waxed lyrical, that was way too long. This video has gone on way too long. I don't know what to make with Vlad right now. That is my honest assessment. I am completely confused as to what to do with him. I have looked at the defensive tree, right? And it's like saying, well, that does not really go into the tank role. That's my biggest problem with speccing into this tree, right? Regeneration, more health, blah, blah, blah. Brilliant. You're not a fucking tank, nor should you try to be. Your role is to be a tank. It's basically to be the tank, a tanky AP, not to be a tank. Like, if we go fully into this, like, okay, you now do damage, but you're not an AP carry either. Well, not purely AP carry, like others who can just build. Like, let's say Oriana. I think it's a Holy Grail, loads and loads of damage items. Fine. She's not stuck in the middle of everything. She's relatively long range, especially compared to Vladimir. She can therefore afford to spec into this without any repercussions. Vlad can't. Going 2109 in top lane was okay for some people. For others, it was a fucking death sentence because it's like ribbons on your face. All that damage you want to do, good luck getting it because you're already a puddle on the floor and it's generally not good for you until you get to level 9. 1 to 9 in the top lane, long time when you're getting zoned out. But it's just, you might have to, because quite honestly, the key part was literally out of combat. So moving back onto the abilities, right? Last part of this talk. I know it's a bit strange, but Hemoplague might actually be the very last vestige of amplification of true damage. From what I understand, Hemoplague will still amplify all sources of true damage. Strange, isn't it? I looked it up. Talon, gibbed. Polly, gibbed. Polly, Poppy, gibbed. Swain, gibbed. The three sort of underplayed, underrepresented, arguably underpowered to an extent. Otherwise people would play and go, oh my god, they have the mom. And yet somehow this has been untouched. That's the first thing and probably the last thing I wanted to say because I don't think they've changed anything else. Ah, dear. I do not know what to make of Vlad right now. I honestly feel he is in a terrible spot. His items don't make any sense. The masteries have completely screwed over the type of playstyle I had for him. Um, I'm putting that on ice, honestly. I know I can't, but because I need to research it, but at the same time, I have no solid build worked out for him yet. I was like, I need to let Season 4 develop a bit more, see what the fuck they're doing to all the different items before I can give a solid reply as to what he's doing. And with that, I will conclude this video. So next one is, believe it or not, LeBlanc.